25 years after their last trip to the NBA Finals, the Indiana Pacers will meet the same team in this year's Eastern Conference Finals as they did in 2000, as they once again will see the New York Knicks. This will mark the 9th time these two have met in a playoff series, with the first coming back in 1993. Mark your calendars. Here's a look at the full schedule of games, beginning Wednesday with Game 1 and 2 from Madison Square Garden, with all the games tipping off at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The broadcast on TNT. The series shifts to Indiana for Game 3 on Sunday and Game 4 on Tuesday. And then, of course, Game 5, 6, and 7, if necessary. We will wait and see. Tim Doyle is back with us, breaking down everything we need to know in the NBA playoffs as we get set for this Eastern Conference final in this series. Tim, let's get into your early expectations for this one before Game 1 at Madison Square Garden.
I grew up in New York City, so I remember this rivalry back in the day, whether it was Reggie Miller and Spike going at it, the John Starks, Rick Smiths, Patrick Ewing. Those games were legit wrestling matches. I mean, they were physical, they were tough, they were low scoring, they were at times boring. This is not going to be. These are the points that these two teams have scored this year in their respective wins. When they've played each other, 123, 132, 128. So I know playoffs brings defense, but these teams like to go up and down. They played an awesome series last year as well, went to the 7th game, and the Pacers couldn't miss a shot at Madison Square Garden. It was an awesome performance. We got great point guards, of this generation. Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Haliburton, going head to head. I love the old clip, Jordan, of when they were going at it in the wrestling ring. It's like foreshadowing that these two guys are going to be facing up against each other, and they do it in different ways. Like Haliburton is long, he has a funky jumper, but he's super athletic. When he gets to the rim, he can dunk. And then you got Brunson, who's built more like a fire hydrant, and he has this amazing footwork, and he's able to contort his body. He's got a fantastic mid-range game. Both guys are super effective. They're the leaders of their squad, but they do it in different ways. I think this whole series is going to be extremely fun to watch. You got the Midwest nice versus the New York brashness. So I love the Knicks fans. I think they're kind of going like football style. Like climbing everywhere, going crazy. I think that's like that cultural influence in New York. It's such a melting pot.
Can we talk about that? Let's talk about that for a second, because the FOMO the rest of us who are not from New York City are experiencing is absolutely insane. Like, I'm so jealous. I had no idea, actually, that you were from NYC until now. That's very interesting. What have the last 48 hours been like? You got the Knicks obviously advancing. You got the New York Liberty just getting their rings. The banner raised yesterday. You got Mets, and you got the Yankees, Juan Soto return. I mean, geez, is the National Guard like on set? What's going on in New York? What's in the water?
Growing up, I grew up in the suburbs, so I used to have to take the Long Island Railroad into Madison Square Garden. Now, if you've never been to Madison Square Garden, the railroad lets you off right there. So I don't know if it was great parenting, Jordan, but I remember my parents would give me $20. Like, that was like cash. And I would get a hot dog and Knish platter. And I believe it was $14. So then I had $6 left. I was like 8 years old on the train. They were like, yeah, you'll be fine. Like, now I don't let my kids ride their bike around the corner. There's just an electricity there in New York. There's nothing else like it. And when I played high school basketball, when I got recruited by St. John's, their home games were at the Garden, and I ended up going there because there's nothing like the Garden. Now, with social media and everyone wanting to post on Instagram, now it's become the hot place to be.
Oh, yeah.
When the housewives are showing up to the Garden, along with Chalamet and Ben Stiller and Cardi B and everybody else, it's become the place to be. I just wonder if the Knicks fans will travel to Indianapolis, because it's almost cheaper to get on an airplane and buy a ticket than go to a Knicks game itself.
No, that's a good point there. I love how you left out Spike Lee. He misses one game for the Met Gala, and Timothy Chalamet just comes in hot and takes the place for the biggest super fan for New York. All right, with all this kind of being said, we got to get a game pick from you, Tim Doyle, in this series for Pacers, Knicks. Who you got to win it all?
Before the season started, I picked the Knicks to win the East. Okay. Now I lost faith multiple times. I'm not gonna lie, right? Brunson ends up getting banged up, and then they got to run into the Celtics. But this has been my pick from the jump. I had OKC Knicks finals. I did a show for the NBA at the NBA All-Star Game, and my Knicks pick got blasted. Well, now they got home court advantage. And why I like the Knicks, it's going to come down to two guys in my eyes. It's going to be Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. When OG Anunoby's had good games, when he's had 15 or more, 20 points, the Knicks are absolutely unstoppable, unbeatable. When he's average, the rest of the team is average. I think Cat's been awesome on the backboards. He's been consistent. They don't have much of a bench, but I think there's a toughness to the Knicks, and there's just an energy right now. So we weren't really sure, Jordan, what we were going to get from the NBA playoffs, right? We thought the Lakers had some promise. We thought, it could be the Cavs coming out of the East. If we get New York in the NBA Finals, this will be amazing business for the NBA, and ratings will be through the roof. I think at the end of the day, the Knicks win it all and get to the finals where OKC knocks them off. So pump your brakes. I think they make it to the finals, but they don't win it all.
All right, we'll wait and see. We'll pump the brakes. It's been the gift that just keeps on giving the NBA playoffs of 2025. Tim Doyle, always great to see you. Thanks so much. It's a final game between the two players who are the front runners for the NBA's MVP award this season. Nikola Jokic and SGA have been the two leaders in the conversation for MVP all season long. It's the perfect setup, the best player on the best team in SGA taking on the best player in the overall NBA in Jokic. We are tied at 3 apiece with a pivotal Game 7 on tap today. Nuggets on the road in OKC, and unfortunately, history in Game 7 games on the road, not in their favor. Here's a look at how the last 5 outcomes have played out for Denver on the road. All losses. Meanwhile, the Thunder absolutely loving this graphic. They're screenshotting it, making it their phone background because OKC's history in Game 7s at home, all W's. It's just their thing. It's just what they do. But do the Thunder really have the edge in this one? For the answer, let's go ahead and welcome in our own Tim Doyle for more. Tim, great to see you. The excitement is building up for this one. Game 7, winner advances to the Western Conference Final. Nikola Jokic versus SGA. Who are you giving the edge to?
Yeah, the edge is to Jokic. You know, he's entering a category, Jordan, where we've seen before with the likes of Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. My point is everyone understands he's the best player in the game, but yet he won't win the MVP this year. It's like, what? Because all of those guys that I just named, really almost every season, you could have called them the MVP. So Jokic has been in big games. He's played in the NBA Finals, which SGA has not. So I'm going to go edge here, Jokic.
You know what? I know the NBA definitely knows who the MVP of the season is right now, despite, of course, not announcing it just yet. But I think we just throw the ballots, throw the votes out the window, Tim. What do you say? And this game actually decides the winner of the MVP. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter, right? The playoffs don't. And I get why SGA is going to win it. The guy's had a fantastic season, and wins and losses do matter as far as MVP voting. Heck, it matters when you're a little kid, right? It's usually the guy on the winning team or the lady on the winning team. That's the one who ends up winning the most awards. So Jokic has been in these big spots before. He needs to be out of this world if they're going to pull off the upset win on the road.
Yeah, not a possibility, but it would be cool, and it is setting up for all the drama for an exciting Game 7. Now, I showed you, Tim, the history of Denver in road Game 7 matchups. It's not great. They're going to need contributions from everyone today, especially considering that forward Aaron Gordon's status is up in the air, still struggling with that strained hamstring. How much will that impact the Nuggets today?
Yeah, it looks like he's not going to go. Shams is reporting that this is a month-long injury. Aaron...
Xin chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục với các bạn Hải Phòng với tiêu đề là chiếc ghế. Đây là mình sẽ bắt đầu làm nhé. Ria ria nữa. Dạy ria ria nữa. Chả biết con chó của ta rồi chả thấy cẩn thận độc cô. Đấy là